morning. Welcome, everybody, to Smashing Plastic Podcast. Coach Tommy here. I have a special guest. Goes by the name of Max. Max, tell everybody in the world who you are and why you're here on the podcast.
My name is Max, as Tommy said. Max Easton. I'm the head tournament director for Pickleball Charleston. We run events throughout the area and mostly tournaments.
Sure.
Trying different formats out, seeing what people like and run. And that's the goal, is just to have more competitive, organized events in the area that people can enjoy. People seem to really enjoy events that are organized and competitive.
I agree.
So.
While everybody is tuning in, do me a favor and drop, how do I find you? If I'm driving down the road right now and I want to pull up your gram, where do I go to find Max? Or I guess Pickleball Charleston.
Yeah, Pickleball Charleston would be better.
Okay.
The pickleballcharlestonsc.com is our website.
Okay.
And Pickleball Charleston SC is the Instagram.
On the gram, okay.
Yep.
So I have participated, as you know, in many of your events. Do me a favor and let's just walk through, which I don't think people appreciate. I do, being a proprietor and doing some of what you have done. How in the world do you organize cats and chaos into the beloved world of a pickleball tournament?
Whew, it's
a lot, right?
It's a lot. It's a lot more than what you would think would go into it, but luckily, with the advent of Duper,
the Duper helps, right?
Duper is a rating system that allows at least my job to be a little bit easier to group people together
for parity, right?
Yeah.
So do you see that catch? Pickleball skill.
Nice.
So the parity of Duper. So first and foremost, if you're listening and you do not have a Duper rating, it's DUPR. DUPR. You need to get one. Whether you are a brand new person who's never touched a pickleball, or you are the beloved guy that wants to chase the tour, if you don't have a Duper, it makes your job as a tournament coordinator, director, almost impossible, right? Because now you got a guy that's a 4-5, going to play a guy that is a 2-3, and if you didn't know that, it's not fun for anybody at that tournament. You agree?
Exactly, and that's the issue when you're not. And that's actually one of the reasons I got into it.
Okay.
Because sorry, I didn't mean.
No,
to
that's
cut back,
perfect.
But,
No, I love it.
But yeah, that's because I was started off playing pickleball, going to tournaments, and going to driving 2 hours to a tournament and playing people twice as good as me or half as good as me, and it was just like I drove 2 hours and got beat in 2 games and I'm done.
Right.
So the 2 and done, 2 games and done was a bad experience.
Right.
It was just paying $100 or whatever it was at the time.
And your time.
And my time.
And your time.
I'm going to drive up and get all excited for it just to play. So when I started organizing it, we were actually the first club in South Carolina to have a Duper club, a Duper digital club, to start promoting Duper and get people rated.
Okay.
So, and by doing that, we were able to organize events, and I'm able to take people that are real close to each other in their rating and play each other. And play and put in groups. That way they're able to play, have competitive games.
So you've got games that are going to be tight, and fun and competitive, most importantly. But also at the end of the day, like you said, I think the biggest thing for me when it comes to events, and as you know, I'm kind of a snob when it comes to stuff, but I really want, when I sign up, because yes, it's money, but it's also time, I really want the event to be a good experience. And I don't mean that by just walking away with the gold medal. I mean, do I know where I'm playing? Do I know what court I'm going to? Are the scores correct? Is the atmosphere organized, or is it truly legitimate, like, oh my Lanta chaos, right? And I feel like for the most part, you do a phenomenal job at your events here at Pickleball Charleston of organizing this to when we walk up and we park and we do our registration. From that point on to the time that you see me when you're handing me a medal, it should be as smoothly as you can possibly make it, correct?
Yes, and that's our goal, is because we're, you learn by trial and error,
sure,
right?
100%.
When you're starting out, you don't know what you don't know, and you're going. And we were able to, by trial and error, by just doing things, we want to get people in and out. Like, we don't want to make it feel like you're just someone here and we're in and out, but we want it to be smooth. You come, you show up, you know what courts you're going to be playing on. You play on those courts, you know where you're moving to, and you're done in a certain amount of time.
Your home is more than just a place. It's your pride, your sanctuary. Its exterior is the first impression it gives to the world, and a shield that protects you from the elements. But over time, weather and wear can dull its shine and compromise its safety. That's where we come in. At First Class Painting and Restoration, we bring your property back to life with our premium painting services. Using state-of-the-art tools and techniques, we deliver exceptional results on time and within budget. As a local award-winning company with over 15 years of experience, we're known for our family reputation and unique culture. We're not just painters, we're craftsmen who care about our community and the people we serve. We're committed to bettering our customers, employees, and community through the fun trade of painting. So choose First Class Painting and Restoration and experience the difference of a company that cares. Because making your house feel like home is our first-class service.
All right, so the Keepers of Chaos, aka tournament directors, you have done a lot of events. When I say what is the best event that you visualize for Pickleball Charleston coming soon, what does that look like to you? And give us a, if you will, me and you are going to get into a 30,000 square foot plane and see where Pickleball Charleston is a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. Do you think this will be a full-time gig for you eventually?
I think so.
Okay.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
It would be, you kind of always want to work in something that you love doing.
Right? Yeah.
And I love organizing it because I love going to these events and seeing people's faces and just excited. Even people that go and they lose every game.
Right.
As long as it was competitive and they had a good, they're still happy.
Sure.
And that's what makes it the best for me is when I see people happy at events.
I feel like the event thing is AKA, another name for it is the party, right? Like if you do the event right enough to where at the end of the day, the experience is good, win, lose, or draw, you've done your job, right? As a tournament director.
Correct.
Do you feel that Charleston pickleball in general, I would love for you to let everybody in the world of the internet's listening. How much has it grown, man, since you started this thing?
Whew. It's hard to even fathom because we started because Brian and I started this last June, so 2023, and we're just like, hey, let's
do an event.
She likes to do that side of it, the marketing, the party side of it.
Sure.
And
I want to organize it.
Yeah. So we work well together. So it's a perfect partnership. And we're getting so many people. And now, I'm thinking like, we can do one every other month.
Sure.
And now we're like, we need to do more because people, we're selling out all of our events. So there's a demand for more.
Right.
And then there's a demand for different locations. And so, it'll eventually, I could see it being full-time at some point.
A full-time gig.
We're looking at a few different ways to go with it. So, but the goal is to just keep bringing events that people enjoy and that are competitive and affordable and just
fun, right? I mean, at the end of the day, just fun.
Everybody
just to
wants
have
that fun.
to whether it's a 4-day event or a 2-day event or even a 1-day event, to have a couple hours to where you can park and tune in and go chase a medal, and have some fun with your buddies while you're smashing a plastic ball. I feel like at the end of the day, that's what makes pickleball so attractive is it doesn't take an 8-hour day to do that, right? Like, in all honesty, if you're playing pickleball for 8 hours, you are smoked. You're playing pickleball for 4 hours, you are smoked. You know what I mean? So
we try and get it to where for our doubles tournaments where it's 3 hours.
Okay.
3 to 4 hours. So people, if you have a dog at home,
sure,
you don't have to kennel it all day, or
right.
You don't have to find someone to watch the dog. You're there. You can plan the rest of your day. Like it would be nice if we could tell everybody at registration, hey, this is your start time.
Right.
But that's virtually impossible.
It's tough to do that.
But we try and get it out as early as possible, and and then we try and make sure when we say, hey, your start time is this,
right?
Your end time is going to be around here, and outside of rain or stuff we can't help,
right?
We're usually
it's pretty
hit
close.
that. Yeah,
I would agree. Walk me through if I'm entertaining doing an event. Okay, let's just say unfortunately we're dealing with the Hurricane Helene thing right now. We wanted to do a fundraiser for Hurricane Helene. Can you give us an insight? Is it a profitable venture for us to do an event? Are we going to be able to raise enough money doing a pickleball event? I don't know enough of the ins and outs of all of that, but is it fortuitous? Is it worth somebody who's interested in doing an event picking up the phone and calling Max at Pickleball Charleston and saying, hey, Max, I'd really like to do something for Hurricane Helene. Can you help me with an event? Can you give us a walkthrough on what that looks like?
Yeah, I think it can be. there's different ways to go about it, and I think a lot of it's hard for fundraising.
Okay.
Because if you're just doing it for, say you wanted to do a
Sure.
fundraiser, like there's a lot to think about when you're running a tournament. Like for you just to pick up, like, hey, how am I going to register people? How
Right.
am I going to get the courts?
Where are the courts going to be?
Will someone most places won't
Just give you their courts.
just give you the courts. You'll have to have a tournament director. So you have to hire a tournament director. Some tournament directors just want to show up and do the tournament.
Sure.
And then you're left with all the registration and stuff like that. So it depends on how it goes. But it is, and it's not profitable. Like it's hard to do because Pickleball Charleston's good at getting people there, getting all the location people
Sure.
there. And then it depends on what you want to do with the fundraiser. Like if you want to, we have the tournament and then you come along and do all the vendor stuff to get the
sponsorships, all that stuff.
Then
it's
yes,
like a yes.
Then you can make money on that.
Got it.
But if you're depending on all of the registration fee
to be your fundraiser,
you're not making money on that.
It's not
because
gonna be
then because paying for all the venue and everything like that
Sure.
is just that's what eats it up. You need the sponsorship from the.
So very
fundraiser.
similar to, I would say, like if we're doing a golf event, golf events are notoriously known for that same thing, right? Like at the end of the day, the overhead of the golf club is so high that typically the registrations that you're doing for a golf event are paying for the actual facility and then everything outside of that. So the sponsorships, the whole sponsorships, yada, 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 the gimmicky where, hey, you put $100 in and you get all the little, mulligans and all that mulligans package. All of that is strictly profit that goes directly to fundraising portion. In pickleball, the event would be similar. To where, hey, your registration cost is normally going to be what, max 50, 60, 75 bucks. Somewhere typically is what a registration for a pickleball tournament is right now. So that majority of that is going to go to your tournament director and the actual facility of where you're at. And then what you've got to do is figure out where's the rest come from? Where do we raise money from?
Yeah, and that's what it is. And I think fundraisers can be done well that way. Just to have all the
ancillary.
Yeah, whatever it is, the bidding on stuff, all that kind of stuff. That's where you make your fundraising
That's where you raise
money.
the funds.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we bring everybody together, and then you bring
everything else.
Yep. And then that's where the funds come from.
Are you okay with people calling you for that? Is that something that you envision Pickleball Charleston being able to do as events for that? Or are you strictly trying to brand Pickleball Charleston where it is going to be your events, your competitiveness, your leagues, that kind of stuff?
I think we're still in the middle right there. We're still trying to figure out. People are still trying to figure out, like, is that worth coming to us to run it, and then they take the portion? Because most fundraisers are used to, like, oh, we're taking the ticket price and that.
Right.
So we're still in the middle trying to figure out whether that's
an avenue that you want to proceed or not.
So it's not we're not turning people down,
right?
But we're not just taking on anybody that does it because we need to make sure
it's a right fit.
It's a right fit, yeah. Because at the end of the day, we are a business, and we at least need to pay the people that
are doing, because it is work. Like it legitimately is work, and that's great. So you're open for the call. If you are listening and you are entertaining an event, it is worth picking up the phone and giving a Max a call to see if maybe that is something that you want to do. It doesn't necessarily have to be a fundraiser, because then I'm going to take you to this next little portion of awesomeness here, which is what my heart is after. What in the world, Max, does it look like for the wonderful world of formalized, strategic, we'll call it organized youth play? Because I know you guys are venturing a little bit into this.
Yeah.
A little bit into this.
We have ventured into that.
What does that look like to you? What are you thinking there?
I think youth play is where it's at, is a movement. It's not the future, but it is the future, because it's all the people coming. But, like, there's a market there. It's a very hard market because,
I do.
You do youth stuff all the time.
I do.
A 16-year-old and a 12-year-old
can't play together.
Nope. So it makes it really hard. You need enough people that are
in the age brackets, which is interesting.
Because pickleball, any age can play together.
Right.
But once you get competitive, that 16-year-old is just so much more physically
than a 12-year-old. Right.
And then the girl to get, like, because if you're both in your 20s, girls, guys can play together.
All
it's
day.
Fine.
Right.
But at 14, even to a guy and a girl, like, that's a huge difference. And we've had a lot of conversation, and I've thought a lot about it and trying to figure something out.
Right.
Like, it's basically what my mind does all the time, trying to figure out how to.
And it is definitely one of the, we'll call it a bottleneck and I face the same thing. So we're entertaining, we're trying to really, Des and I and a couple other folks are really trying to put this high school thing together, right? Like, what does that look like to truly have club high school pickleball until it can become, strategically a varsity and a junior varsity sport? And it's tough, it really is, because like you're saying, one is the parity of a ninth grader and a 12th grader, because realistically they're going to have to, you can't have just ninth, right? But you could absolutely have JV and you could actually have varsity. So I just I love picking, all the guys and gals that come on our show about where they see youth, where's the market for it, how do we help, how do we put it in our brains that we're thinking about. And I do agree, if you and I put on a youth event next week and you had 20, 12-year-olds sign up, well, then it's very easy.
Yeah.
Now it's extremely easy.
Yeah, we just put them all in a group.
Right, right. But that's not what happens. No. That's not what happens.
No.
So what will happen, just so you guys understand, is when we have we'll call it a 15 and under bracket, we'll have 4 9-year-olds that'll sign up, 2 12-year-olds, 1 16-year-old, and then you and I are staring at each other going, how in the world do we do this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and then shows up the 12-year-old is bigger than the 16-year-old, so you thought you could put the 12-year-old with a 9-year-old, but now they're so it's like it just throws it off even more, and it's just it's hard. Yeah.
It is exactly a challenge. So here's what I would recommend, and I'm sure you will attest to this. Number one, if you are signing up for an event, early as possible helps everybody with the event. It truly is legitimately a logistic nightmare waiting till the day of or the day before to get registrants for your tournaments. You agree?
Yes, because we typically cut off registration the Monday night before Saturday tournament.
Okay.
So if all of a sudden we have 30 people sign up Monday night,
you're up till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I'm like, well, now I need to figure out the schedule for 30 more people, and now it's on even numbers. Now I need to find 2 more people to, it's like, so it is, earlier the better, because it seems like lately, like 30% of our registrants happen in the last week.
Yeah, I've got some stories that are horrific that all of that always pans out. So again, if you're listening, please do me a favor. If you're gonna sign up for an event, including youth, the sooner the better, because then it gives all of the tournament directors and the orchestrators of chaos ample time to put together a smooth event. It becomes extremely chaotic if we're waiting to the night of that you register for an event. Secondly, one of the things that you can do for that too is if you are local and you don't know your schedule. Let's just say hypothetically, you and I both know we got a lot of guys and gals that are military and that are in and out, or we've got guys that are commuting constantly for their jobs. I love it when I'm doing an event knowing I've got a handful of people that are always a backfiller for me. You know what I mean? Like, they may not be the guy or gal that's going to register for the event, but I know that if I have an event and Max is not playing in that event, I know I can text Max and be like, Max, bro, I need a 4-5 at this level. Can you help me out with this? Yep. If you are one of those folks, I would highly encourage you meeting Max and having his name and your number in each other's phones, because it really is a good button for you.
Yes,
you agree?
Yeah, because there are sometimes I make it to the end of that list and wish I had more people, because I do have a list of people that I call that I know would want to play, but they couldn't schedule because
right.
You don't know,
life,
and they're like, I wanted to, but
right.
But then I call them and they're like, oh yeah, I'm available this Saturday, so I can play. So
yeah, it's definitely such a huge blessing to have those guys and gals. Let's go into a little bit of technical stuff. So tell us a little bit about your playing, because I know you're one of these guys that likes to actually play too, right? Like, you actually play pickleball, Max, right?
Yeah.
You're a pickler. So then you played and we compete and you're a good player. What level are you at? And let's just talk a little bit about how'd you get into pickleball, because I love the stories of hearing how in the world you got into this thing with hitting a plastic ball with a paddle. Where did that come from? And give us that story.
Okay. Well, my level now, I mean, I'm like a 4.0, 4.5 player, somewhere around in there. So I unfortunately don't get to play in a lot of events because I'm running them and can't take too much time away from the family to play in events outside of mine.
Sure.
So, but I do enjoy it, and I try and play in leagues around when I'm during my downtime. So, but I got into it. Funny thing is, 20 years ago.
Really?
Just 20 years ago, college.
Okay.
I had volleyball class. One day the professor brings out these courts, brings out these little nets and wooden paddles.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I'm like, all right. I had a fantastic, picked it up, loved it instantly.
Wow.
But then
it disappeared.
It disappeared. I'm like, oh, okay, this must just be a backyard game or whatever. So it disappeared. Then I moved down here a while ago and we moved into Cane Bay, and we are excited the Y's coming. They said they're going to have pickleball, and I'm like, okay, like this is it. Like I'm going to play. And that's where I picked it up. Like 2019 is when I really started playing.
Okay.
Like, so when the Y opened up in Cane Bay.
In Cane Bay.
So
wow.
Started playing there and just loved it and thought I was going to go pro. Like
sure. Like everybody.
Like everybody.
Right?
Like,
yeah,
that's
first
all
week,
right.
yeah.
Like, hey, I'm really good at this. And I'm like, and then it took me a little bit to realize like, oh, I need to go other places, and I'm not good at it.
Right,
like, I'm not even a 4.0. Like, and these pros are like 7.0, and I'm like, okay, like I'm bad. So yeah, it took me a little bit to figure out. That's a humbling experience.
Yeah, that's what's so great about pickle, right? Is no matter where you're at in your beloved stage of pickle, there's always a place where Billy Bad really is Billy Bad, right? Like there's always that place. I love that. That's awesome. How often do you drill? What's some of your favorite stuff that you're working on right now? Just on your where do you see your game right now, and what are you doing in order to get better? Give us a little, I don't know, some stuff.
Right now, it's been a little bit of downtime.
Okay.
So, but typically, I live in a neighborhood that has courts.
Okay.
So, there's a bunch of good
players
in my neighborhood. So, and there's a friend of mine. We'll drill like once a week, and we usually drill dinking. Dinking is the biggest thing we work on.
Okay.
Just dinking and dropping.
Okay.
On third shot drops because it seems to be a big part of the game. Fortunately, most games I play in
don't have it, right?
Like the drop's there, but the dinking, it's because we all get into the habit of like, hey, I think I'm good enough to speed everything up. I mean, none of us are.
Right,
like most of them are into the net, but we hit that one winner and we're like,
now that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of the game.
Okay,
right?
So and by the end of the game, you still only hit that one winner, but that's what you.
So good.
Yeah,
man.
but yeah, so that's the drilling. I want to do more of it. And working on just working on one shot. That's what I like to do when I drill. Just work on one shot over and over and over
until you got it.
Until I got it, and then it just comes natural when I'm playing it.
Got it.
So like that's what happened. Even when I was serving, like when I started figuring out how to serve a little bit better, like I just take 100 balls out there and just serving's the easiest thing to do by yourself because you can just hit 100 balls.
You got a bag of balls and it's good to go. Yeah. One of the things that you hit on there, maybe we'll utilize this as our beloved coach's tip because I know everybody's just dying to hear the coach's tip. So here's the coach's tip for you. Max, you can attest to this. One of the things that he said was when I find myself when we're in a dinking game or we go to do a drop, all of a sudden we're playing and now we're not doing that. One of the biggest things that I see, and Max, you can attest to this, is I feel like you just said it, where you try to speed up where you're not supposed to speed up, or you try to hit the winner where you don't hit the winner. And what I tell my guys and my students and the people that are coaches, I really like for you to do one more shot than what you thought. It's one more additional shot of putting it back into play that's trying to create a true opportunity for a winner. And when I mean a winner, I mean a pop-up or an error on the other side to where when they pop it up, you're putting it away and you're moving on. So my coach's tip, and Max, give us a little feedback on this, is literally drop the shot or dink it one more time than what you think and allow it for a true winner to happen or them make an error.
I definitely agree with that because I feel like that's where I'm at my best is when I just the person, it looks like they're tired of dinking. Yep. Just keep dinking to them.
That's
then.
it.
Like you don't have to go for that winner. Like they're wore out. Like
right.
Usually when I'm in that mindset and I'm like, just keep dinking, I end up winning on them dinking into the net because they're tired of it, or they speed up a ball that
becomes an error, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, now if I can just do that more often, but I can't. Like I don't know what it is. It's just I haven't. I
love it.
Yeah.
The discipline of literally making that additional shot. And that's what I'm constantly, just so you know, I'm preaching to myself on this too, to where you just take the opportunity just to tell yourself to hit one more shot, and it gives you the opportunity to just keep playing. Because you and I both know it's much funner to play a point that is a 4, 5, 7, 9, 11 shot rally than it is a 1, 2, 3 shot rally, right? Like it's so much more fun for everybody that's involved, right? Like you're running around like a crazy person after you make an 11-point volley point. That's a really cool feeling. You know what I mean? Like you do a 1, 2 or a 1, 2, 3 or a 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's kind of like it's not the fact that it's not fun. It's just not tactical pickleball. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I feel like our level and below, when it's under 4 shots, it's because someone created an error. Someone made an error. Someone didn't hit a game
1000%.
winner. It's someone hit it into the net or way out.
1000%.
It's not
1000%.
Oh well, they're just a lot better and they hit
Right.
that.
It's always an error, right?
And 50% of the time that's me, but like
Right.
So, but that's what it is. So if you just keep dinking,
Put it back in play.
just keep put balls in play, even when you're at the baseline. It doesn't matter how high it is.
I agree.
Just keep putting it in play because eventually they're gonna overhit it, hit it into the net, or hit it out.
100%.
Like that, you'll win more just getting it over. I mean, you can't win any point hitting it into the net.
Yeah, or out of bounds.
Or out of
right?
bounds,
You're not going to take it. So we are now, again, we've talked about this before, but we're in a sport to where we are not in the sport of hitting winners. This is not tennis to where we're trying to hit 130 mile an hour serve by you. We are in the sport of trying to make the other team make an error. So if that's the case, then you need to eliminate Max and you need to eliminate Tommy, or in this case, you need to eliminate you from being the person that makes the error. Doesn't matter how the quality of the shot is. Make a decent return back, get it over, dink it one more time, do the drop, do the things that are going to allow them the opportunity to make the error, not you.
Yeah, because you see it. You've played for how long now?
Now we're going on 4 years now.
4 years.
Yeah.
So when you first started, you could probably hit a lot more game winners. People got a lot better.
Sure.
Like, it's amazing
how much better everybody is, right?
And how much
like people are coming in a month.
Yep.
They're better than I was after 2 years.
Yep.
Because they have that quality players
Sure.
are playing against all the time. So it's like you just can't hit that winner anymore because everyone's got fast hands. The
Yep.
paddles are better. Everything's better, which is great. Like,
Sure.
So
Sure.
it makes for more fun games. But it'd make for more fun games if we all just hit one more shot.
Just one more shot.
One more easy shot over and in and hit it. Just
It's so true, man, and I love it. And I definitely think that if anybody takes anything away from the pod on that, like coach's tip of the day is just one more shot. Maybe just one more shot. Put it one more time,
Yep.
and I promise you'll be a lot happier.
Yeah, you win more points that way.
Yeah, it makes it funner for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely want first and foremost is there what's on the horizon, right? Like what's coming up? Tell us a little bit of the next events, and I'd like your opinion. Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite format yet? You know, Mr. Tournament Director
Yes,
of Pickleball Charleston. Tell us what your
I
favorite
can answer
format
both
is.
these questions,
Okay.
and I will. What's coming up is we have our next event is in Camden,
Camden, South Carolina.
which is crazy to me that Camden, South Carolina has one of the nicest facilities.
One of the nicest,
Yeah.
like legitimately
Like,
one of the
it
nicest
just-
facilities.
It's just weird because you're just driving along and there's Camden, and then you drive there. They have 20 tennis courts and then 12
It's
nice
beautiful.
pickleball courts.
It's horses and pickleball.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
all
sure.
right. So yeah, but that's our next event, and I love doing stuff there because the facility's nice, the courts are nice, and the people are great.
People are great.
Yeah, so it's always nice when we get a combination of the people that are there, local people,
Sure.
and then people that will drive up
Yeah.
from Charleston.
Yep.
You know, you have 2 hours.
Yep.
It's a 2-hour drive, but you know, you have a Saturday. Like, play different people.
Yep.
Like, so I encourage anyone to come up to Camden in a couple weeks.
Okay.
But so that's Camden.
Do you have a date for that, Max?
The 19th.
The 19th of October.
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of event are we looking at there?
That'll be a round robin into a bracket.
Okay,
So that's our standard
Okay.
tournament, and we prefer round robins into a bracket. I used to run a lot of round robins,
Yeah.
and they're anticlimactic at the end.
Yeah.
You played 7 games.
Right.
For anyone that doesn't know, a round robin is when there's a certain amount of teams in your bracket, and you just play everybody once, and then whoever wins the most games wins the thing.
Got it.
So, it's more. We like to have the bracket.
So now you do a round robin. So let's just say we have 8 teams. You will play all 8 teams, and then based on your record, you now go into a bracket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, depending on the number of teams it'll depend on how many go into the bracket.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And then you guys play off from there to a winner.
Yep.
Okay. So that's what we'll be doing in Camden on the 18th, you said?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What else you got?
The
Favorite. What's your favorite? Favorite event that you do?
favorite event is the team event.
So the MILPs.
MILP, team event. So it's 2 guys, 2 girls
Okay.
on a team. So it's basically run kind of like a doubles tournament. You have to, everybody adds up their rating and you have to fit in a bracket. So the team,
Okay.
that way you level it off. You're playing people.
So you have a
playing
set.
teams.
You have a set duper rating.
Yep.
So if I'm a 4-0 and you're a 4-0, and we've got 2 ladies that are 4-0s, then I'm in the 4-8, 12, 16. I'm in the 16
Yep,
bracket.
16 bracket.
All right.
And then you're playing in there. So in that format, in the MILP, you play a match against another team. So there's 4 people on each team, 2 men, 2 women.
Okay.
The women play each other.
Yep.
Then the men play each other.
Okay.
Then after that, teams decide which mix to.
So one guy, one girl.
One guy, one girl. There's a mixed game, and then another mixed game.
Got it.
So 4 games.
Okay.
The fun thing is, if that's tied at, you say you split on the men and women,
Sure.
and then split on the mix, so it's tied 2-2. You go into a singles tiebreaker. So which is crazy because most people don't play singles.
Correct.
But it's only 4 points. You play 4 points at a time.
So each person has to play 4 points of a singles.
So you get your lineup. You have your 4 people on your team. You put them in order. The other team matches.
Okay.
So you play your 4 points, your 4 rallies.
Right.
And once those are over,
Yep.
you go off. The next 2 people come on. They play 4 points. Then you just rotate through, and you'll come back to the first 2 people. You're always playing the same person every time you're back on the court.
And it can be guy-girl.
And it could be guy-girl.
It just depends on however you want to line it up.
However, yep. Yeah, so that's the amazing thing. Like, we just had a team event in September.
Yep.
One team played 5 matches, and 4 of them went to Dreambreaker. They call them Dreambreakers, tiebreaker. So they played that singles match
4 times.
4 times.
Oh,
4 out of 5.
they were smoked.
Yeah, like that's a lot.
That's a lot.
So, but it's exciting because then everyone's sitting around watching. Because that's usually
everybody
the other
wants to see
teams are
it.
waiting because they finished up their match. So now everyone's watching.
Sure.
So now you're playing singles and everyone's watching.
And you're a rock star. You're a rock star.
You hit that winner in that. You're like
Yeah.
that one is amazing to play in, and really fun to watch. Like if you just want to, if there's an
event to go to
that you want to watch, you come and watch a team one because it's really fun.
And that's the setup. If you guys don't know, that's the setup of MLP. That's the draw, right? That's where MILP comes from.
Yep.
Is the MLP.
Yep, we're the minor league we're
MLP.
associated with the Major League Pickleball.
Wow.
We're the minor league. So that is my second favorite thing. Like that format is my favorite format in general, but my favorite format to put on is coming up. We're doing one in December at Collins Park, and it's MILP and a doubles tournament together.
Wow.
So you get your 4 players on your team.
Okay.
And then on Saturday, they don't have to play together, but your women playing a women bracket.
Okay.
Your men playing a men's bracket.
Okay.
You collect points from that, depending on how you finish, and then how your team finishes on Sunday, and you get a prize. Then there's a winner of the overall tournament.
Wow. So it's almost a 2-for-1.
Yeah. So and we give away cash prizes for that, for the 50+ and the open age one.
Wow. So money.
So yeah, money. And the nice thing about it is that you can be the 3-0 division and still win the money.
And still win money.
Because you're playing against everybody in your age group.
Got it.
Point-wise. But you collect points based on the people you're playing at your level.
Right.
So if you win gold and everything, you're going to win the money. So it's...
Wow.
Yeah, so it's fun.
And that's going to be in December.
December, yeah.
Wow.
We had one in June.
Okay.
We had that was our largest event yet. We had over 260 people.
260 people.
Yeah. So it's a 3-day event. Wow. We have 50+ on Friday, doubles.
Okay.
All ages on Saturday, and then the team on Sunday, and then give the medals for.
And the money.
And the money.
They're walking away with some
cash,
dinero.
Yeah, they're throwing cash in the air.
Oh my God,
they
this
just
is
don't
fantastic.
care. So.
Well, we're definitely going to have to enter like Dinero song by J-Lo. If you can make that happen, Sean, that would be great right at that point. Max, anything else, man, before I thank you and get you your goodie bag for doing this, man? I cannot thank you enough for Pickleball Charleston. If you haven't checked them out yet, please do. If you haven't been a part of the event yet, you got to check out an event. Like you said, whether you're a 3-0 beginner or all the way up into the beloved, now we got some 5-0s rolling into Charleston. Like, we've got some legitimate good players that are farming out every day. You got to go to an event. If you're a sponsor or you're a business, I would imagine this dude would love to hear from you to sponsor an event because we need them, right? The sponsors are what help make this thing go around, and it's a really good opportunity to get your business in front of really good folks. Max, take us out. Anything else, man?
No, that's it. Like, just love to see people come out and sign up. Sign up early, sign up often.
Yes, make it, Mac. Let me get your, hold on one second. I'm going to get off of camera. This is your official, because we can't have you come with nothing. This is your official Smashing Plastic goodie bag. We get them the goodies.
Perfect.
So that you'll see some stuff. Again, thank you so much. If you take this time, please smash the like button on our podcast. We can't do it without you. It helps all the internets and the algorithms to keep this thing going. We're going to get Max back on in a couple months to see how Pickleball Charleston's growing. I have no doubt it'll be crazy. And last but not least, if you can, check his stuff out and make sure you get yourself to an event. Thanks, everybody. Smash the Plastic and Coach Tommy out.